Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, more protests in St. Mary as a frustrated residents demand electricity. The authorities in St. Mary are being kept busy responding to protests along the Junction Main Road and Notta Bay Main Road. The roads have been blocked by residents frustrated at the lack of electricity. The Junction Road in the vicinity of Devon Pen has been blocked by a massive tree. The road is also blocked at the Friendship Gap, Grandy Hole and Castleton. Meanwhile, stalls have been used to prevent access in Notta Bay. Efforts are underway to remove the blockages on the Junction Road. In Notta Bay, motorists took matters into their own hands and restored single-lane access along the main road. That roadblock was unmanned. There have been several demonstrations over the last 2 weeks as residents vent their frustration over the lack of power and water supply in their communities. A policeman accidentally shoots himself. A policeman assigned to the Oterias police station in St. Anne is nursing a bullet wound after he reportedly accidentally shot himself Sunday morning. It is reported that the police sergeant was at home in Boscobel, St. Mary when he was preparing to leave for work. The cop was about to holster his service pistol in his waist when it accidentally went off and he was shot in the leg. He was taken to a nearby medical facility and then transferred to another facility where he is being treated. His injury is not considered life-threatening. Southwest Clarendon MP wants to compromise the Bank Bridge to get attention. Member of Parliament for Southwest Clarendon Luthan Cousins is calling for the bridge in Bank to be given a priority attention. Mr. Cousins says the integrity of the structure has been compromised following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The Southwest Clarendon MP says an announcement was made 2 years ago that works would have been undertaken on the bridge, but nothing happened despite the funds being earmarked. Mr. Cousins say action is required now.
The municipal corporation went in and they actually did some temporary work to allow access to and from the area. So we're hoping that the technical team from the ministry will also come put together a plan for a long-term solution, because what is there now, if we have a heavy bout of rainfall, no doubt, we'll have to go back to square one and try to, bring in materials, dump it up again to allow access. So what is required now is a permanent solution to that.
Woman charged for falsely reporting death of relative. A woman is to appear in the St. Anne Parish Court in September after being charged for falsely reporting the death of a relative. Shannon Salmon, a 27-year-old of Franca Hall in Key Valley, is charged with creating public mischief. It is reported that last week, Thursday night, Ms. Salmon called the Key Valley police and reported that men from the area had attacked and fatally chopped her cousin near their house. Upon the arrival of the police, Ms. Salmon confessed that the incident did not happen, but wanted the lawmen to warn her boyfriend, who had threatened to kill her. She was subsequently arrested and charged. The police say Ms. Salmon's boyfriend was duly warned. JPS says most customers won't receive estimated bills for June to July. The Jamaica Public Service Company says that the majority of its customers are receiving bills for the June to July period based on actual meter readings. The response from the JPS follows uproar over its advisory that bills for the period may have been estimated. The Light and Power Company said Hurricane Beryl disrupted its operations, including its ability to conduct actual meter readings, whether manually or remotely. In an update on Monday, Winsome Column, Director of Corporate Communications at the JPS, said the company is now close to 100% capability of getting remote readings.
So some customers are getting actual read bills. And when we said may, JPS is obliged to alert customers when there's something out of the norm. And so we did advise our customers that they may get the bill. As at Friday, though, it was only about 25% of our customers who had gotten estimated bills. That's because we have been able to gain access to meters and get readings. So the amount that you see is derived based on your past consumption pattern. It may not reflect the past 2 weeks when you've been without electricity. Look at the dates that the bill covers, and it gives you a sense of how many of those days you would have had electricity and how many you would not have had electricity.
Opposition accuses Mackenzie of sidelining councillors in Hurricane Beryl response. The opposition People's National Party is accusing local government minister Desmond Mackenzie of failing to provide adequate support to councillors, hindering their ability to effectively serve their communities in the wake of Hurricane Beryl. A media release from President of the National Caucus of PNP councillors, Norman Scott, says while Mackenzie has met with the mayors, he is yet to provide a detailed plan of action and the necessary resources to effectively address the urgent needs across the communities. It further notes that while mayors and municipalities were advised to use money from the Special Grants and Repairs Fund, these resources are limited and cannot address the overwhelming needs identified. Despite the dire need for resources, including building materials and care packages, councillors who are among the first responders have been left to navigate disaster response efforts without sufficient backing from the Ministry of Local Government. This lack of support has resulted in a disjointed and ineffective response, exacerbating the suffering of our communities, the opposition says. The opposition says emphasis has been placed on giving support to members of parliament, but it is the councillors who residents find more easily accessible and to whom they readily look for support at this time. Councillors are on the ground working tirelessly to assist the numerous residents severely impacted, yet they are not receiving the necessary support from the minister's office. It is unacceptable that the ministry has not provided the resources and the logistical support needed to ensure a coordinated and effective response. The absence of clear communication, funding, and logistical support from the Ministry of Local Government has severely hampered our ability to coordinate relief efforts and resource distribution and provide critical information and updates to constituents. This lack of support has led to insufficient resource allocation, an inefficient response to immediate needs, and the increased frustration and despair among affected communities, the opposition argues. The opposition councillors are demanding that Mackenzie takes immediate action to address the situation and prioritize the needs of councillors and, by extension, the communities they serve. Additional vector control workers deployed in central Jamaica. The Ministry of Health says it has deployed additional vector control workers to central Jamaica to combat an increase in mosquitoes and rodents following the hurricane. Speaking on Sunday with the news, Director of Environmental Health in the ministry, Michael Williams, said a number of programs have been launched to combat the expected surge in vector-borne diseases following the passage of Hurricane Beryl.
In June, July, thereabout, we take on an additional 500 vector control workers. And these workers do a variety of interventions, including larvicidal actions, search and destroy, and of course the fogging. We also increase our purchase of chemicals for the vector control program, both machines and equipment. And so, since Hurricane Beryl, we know and we have seen where there is an exponential increase in the vector population. And this is insect. We're talking about vectors of diseases as well as nuisance mosquitoes. There's also an increase in the number of flies we have because of the excessive garbage around, and also rodents. Their burrows will have been washed out and they will be coming into our homes. So it's not just mosquitoes that we are concerned about, and we have put together a program to intervene.
Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.